and they want to imagine themselves in the model. So if they're not going to have that, going to have that, they are at a loss. They are not going to be able to sell to this group of masses. So don't you worry about that. You're not going anywhere, no matter what they think they're doing. So I'm going to buy only if there is my size models posing these things.
Okay, so I have a question for Monica. So you're into experiential design, right? And at the same time, we have AJ over here, who's a photographer, and we have models and actors ki to kami hai nahi. So the point is ki with the whole lockdown beginning and things going virtual, you're having virtual like runways, we're having a ton of virtual things happening. Before I dig into the
virtual runways? Okay, then that's great. Then I can go ahead with what I have in mind. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, so that's what my question is going to be about. How do you imagine those things happening? Or even if I talk about the virtual models that are coming into picture, I think I had dropped a hint once earlier as well. So so we have like a few virtual models that are there in the market at the moment. They are like completely like as human as you can say, in a way, look-wise maybe. So with them coming into picture, how does it change the way products are shot or clothes are shot? Or for example, the way I shoot. If you see my pictures or my profile, many of my pictures are moment driven. Like you'll just see a few pictures of mine where I'm actually standing. Otherwise, there's a lot of movement in the clothes or in the body or in general. So how does a photographer capture the realistic side to these things? For example, the cloth moves differently when there's a breeze. Or, there's so many things that add on to a picture that are just coming from the environment that have nothing to do with styling or nothing to do with anything that we plan basically. Or sunlight, light, shadows, all those things. So how does it happen? Or
so I will not. You have a lot of knowledge about modeling and photography, and I cannot comment on that because I don't have a lot of knowledge in that sector. But I will tell you how virtually we're trying to include fashion shows. So I am currently working on virtual exhibitions, so just to exhibit the products. Right now we're just trying and seeing if in a 360 environment, so not just static image, so you can actually go around a space by click. So you click and you go. The way Google Street View works, so that's a 360 image and you can go around, right? So we're trying to work on that currently. Sorry, just this noise, just ignore that. We're trying to see how product displays and how people will react, and how people can buy one online with not just e-commerce but actually experiencing the space. Once we figure this one out, the next thing that we will be working, sorry, is it stuck? No, okay.
No, we can hear you.
So the next thing that we're planning to work on is launches. So product launches, car launches, all of that. In that, we'll get more idea of interacting with other people in the space. There have been virtual meetings where people have had interactive stages. So they've had a stage, they've had more people interacting on the stage. The next step is fashion shows, okay? Because the space I can build, okay? It's the interface, so I will have to work with the web developer so as to make it very, I don't know how we will include the background factor, like you said, that there is so much of the movement, there's so much of the pose that comes in because of the background. I think once we collaborate, you will be able to add in ideas and we'll try and make that a reality. Since we've not had this knowledge and we've not had this idea, we have not thought about incorporating it. we have thought of fashion shows, but like static um, photos or static 3D images on the ramp, where people will, in a 360 environment, people will go around it. So people are moving here and the models are static. So it's the other way around. So there will, you know how mannequins, how we work around mannequins. So the mannequins are there, but this is real people, and these real people have shot their pictures in a chrome. So on a green screen, you get a 360 image of a person. And once we upload that 360 image, the way we do product photography, we're going to do the same for the fashion model. And once we upload that on the platform, it will be say like a mannequin, but it's a fashion show, so people have, it's their personality, it's a real personality that you are going around and seeing how it fits to that person. We will still be requiring a lot more details, a lot more insights from actual models and photographers. The only insights that we have had till now is from designers. I've been working with one fashion designer per se, and she has been guiding me as to what they need so that it's there, and an event planner. So the event planner knows what the audience needs in an event to be for it to be interactive. So this is to the extent that we have thought of. If you'd like to add more, if you have more ideas, we can, all of us, like, we can sit and brainstorm, and then we can see how that can be a good virtual experience. Because I'm in for a good virtual experience for now. You're on mute. Yeah.
Can AJ add something to this actually? What is your thoughts?
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Super points Monica added. I think, definitely virtuality wise, there is a lot more different aspect that we are looking into. Only thing is a couple of shoots that I also did virtually when this whole thing started, and a couple of models that I knew were pitching me that, okay, let's do the Zoom shoots and all. For those shoots, it kind of didn't work out for me the way I am used to shooting on board, because a lot of time I go on set, I'll feel the mood, and then I'll start the shoot. So it's all about where I'll place the model in that mood. Sometimes, like Satabhi and I, we have shot a lot of time. Sometimes she'll come to the set, I'm not talking to her at all. Sometimes I'm very cheerful. So it moves around based on the set and the mood that I am in. But right now I am over here at my place, and the model is somewhere in Delhi, Mumbai, somewhere else, and then we are discussing from here. So there is a lot more like when I shot with a couple of models, there were a lot more static images that happened. So the model had to pose, like for example now Virali is posing like this, and I had to tell her to stop, and I've taken a screen. So that is not how I am used to shooting. I always will give her a certain direction, a mood, and in that moment I'll do the shot, because that is where my inspiration have always come from, which I couldn't do. We had to then come to a certain middle ground to where we can find our way. The only thing is, like, wherever I've been reading with a lot of photographers and how they have worked, a lot of photographers who have these kind of style, they just couldn't function with this virtual thing that is happening. Like, because we, like, from past, I'm working in photography from now good 10 years from my college days. So I'm used to this certain style that I've developed over here, working under some photographers or working with some directors. So I know how to talk to models, how to get that shot. So it doesn't require me to then go into a whole thing. Anyone who's Zara or someone who's taking me on board, they exactly know how I get a model in an action and do the shot. But now doing the same in a virtual thing, there is a lot more limitations. I have a couple of ADs and all who have done these films sitting from home. So the couple of ads that you guys have been seeing that have come up during the lockdown, they have shot from being at their home, and they have told the actors, okay, place the camera like this and do that. but then there is a lot of restrictions and a lot of technical aspects that we have to then be stuck to. Okay, this technicality it is working. Okay, this camera has to work that way, because if that fucks up, okay, there is no shot that is coming in. So even I think for the I don't remember the actor's name, the Twilight hero, what's his name, Patrick something.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. Yeah, Robert Pattinson. For his cover shoot, he had to do it on his own. Even like photographer could tell him, but he did the whole shoot by himself. Now
He got
he did it
real
once.
nice pictures. He got real nice pictures.
Real nice pictures, but that's super.
Yeah.
But can he repeat it again? Can he do it again? How many times can he repeat it? Because for any artist, you have a certain style, and every time I have to just do something new. I have a model, a face, and I can I've done shoots with same model 5 different times with 5 different kind of ideas. So can an actor do that? So these are all the limitations that we have been facing right now. Yes, I've been reading about technology, something new that is coming up. I don't see how soon we can reach to that point wherein I can sit over here and direct the whole show from my table. Yeah, Monica.
I have a really good idea for this. I think if you want to control the direction, if you want to control your style in this, we can use AR for this. So in AR, you can add whatever you want in the background. Say you want to add this background, you can just put that in. You want to add a plant here, you want to add something, and all the model has to do is pose. You can ask the model to move and pose accordingly. But the picture that you will get is with your things that you have added plus the model.
Yeah.
Getting it? So the model doesn't have to do anything. You can control your style, and the picture will be according to what you want and what you want in the image.
Definitely, I get what you're trying to say. Only now, one thing is, let's say, for example, Satabdi is in her bedroom right now, and I tell her, okay, now Satabdi, pose that you are on a beach. So Satabdi can pose, I can add a VR background wherein she is posing that she is on a beach. But when we shoot, there is a certain expression or feel that when you're actually on set is totally different from the thing that is on a background. So whenever I have shot in a studio, I have realized that this time that models would is the connection stable?
Yeah. I want to add up something here. AJ, can I add up something here? Because we are talking about shoots that's going on virtually, and I have done a couple of them, and I totally agree with you. It just kills your vibe. It never gives you the vibe. It can never take out the best in you. And so I have been very selective with people who have done those FaceTime things, but I've never quite felt that I can do this, and I'm sure about I can't do this. So it don't gives you the brief, it don't gives you the environment, it don't give you the vibe. And I was super pissed about it because people were doing it, people were doing that every day, and they're on magazines, this, I've done this, I get it. And I really got a bit frustrated with it. What I did, I started shooting myself on my
and landed on Vogue.
So I started shooting myself because I felt that if someone is clicking me and I'm in Calcutta and that person is in Bombay or maybe Chennai or Bangalore, I don't feel there's any good point of doing it. So I have better connections to myself, right? So I started doing it on myself. But on a very professional level, I feel this is sort of impossible. I can never feel the way I'm on a set. I can never feel when it's happening on FaceTime. It's not possible for me to be as productive as normally I am on a shoot. I totally agree with AJ right now. I don't feel it.
So actually, this is more towards what Monica said. In terms of having your objects in AR or whatever, or even your environment, I believe that when I am posing, firstly, telling my personal experience, when I'm posing, the environment adds like a ton to me. For example, if there's a plant around or there's anything around, then I try to incorporate that into my picture or into my pose or into whatever. So if I'm shooting with AJ, I don't need just him to see it. I need to be able to see and feel the object myself as well, to be able to incorporate it well enough into the picture.
We can try and share his screen onto a screen that you can look at it as well. So you can look at how he is seeing you. So he can be adding the AR, and then we can share his screen with you that you can see. And then you'll be able to see exactly how. So you know, when in real life when you're shooting, so there is a small little TV on sets, on movie sets even. There is the TV where you can see how the shot is coming, right? Just similarly, you will be able to see as if that TV is right in front of you, and the way you are posing, the way you are reacting to that addition that he's made, you'll be able to see onto that screen. Although it's not really there, you will be able to look into that as if there's a mirror with a lot of objects on it. Are you getting it?
Trying it, but I don't know. I don't know to what extent it will work, but I'm open to trying it.
Yeah,
I think
same
for me.
experimental.
Same for me. I feel we can try. Yeah.
We can definitely try. At the same time, we should within every day we should pray. भाई COVID खत्म हो जाए और सब
Yeah. One thing I just want to add up, Monica, with the kind of things that you are talking about, designing factors and all. One thing that we have to consider very much is the psychological impact that is happening on the set with regards to a model as well as a photographer. So for someone who is from outside, model would look like, okay, she is a model, I've given her this clothes, she has worn, she's posing, that's it. So for me, it wouldn't work like that. For me, she is a human being. So I have to do a lot of talking with her. I have to get her to realize that, okay, now let's go to this point. Let's start talking this way, and let's get to this kind of shot. Like for us, when we do, when I get a brief, let's say for Zara or any other brand, for pantaloons we are shooting. In the whole day, we are just doing 3 images. Like for the campaign, we are just doing 3 images. Like, and it takes about 8 to 9 hours. Why does it take that much? So not only does the set that is working in the background, but also getting all the people on the particular mood or the particular kind that we are hoping for. That you cannot fast track by just adding certain things. Okay, and it's an Eid theme, so पीछे डाल दिया Eid का background and model is posing in a salwar and we have got this shot. That won't happen. That could happen up to a certain extent. That is happening. And that happens till a certain extent. But I cannot push it. Is what my concern is.
I mean, I agree, AJ, that a lot of things that we do in real life, a lot of experience, add touch in a virtual experience. I mean, I would love, because I am a very touchy-feely person. I want to go touch the fabric. I want to go feel it. And I want to know how it feels. And that will never be able to, I hope it is, but not in the recent future, not in the near future. We're going to be able to add that to the virtual environment. So there are some compromises that we're definitely going to have to make. And some big, huge compromises. But something with virtual and digital is that you can control a lot of other things that you can't in real life. Like sometimes when you're shooting, it's raining. You don't want it to be raining. Or sometimes when you have to, say we had this in UK, when they had to shoot for, when they had to take a shot. I went on film set as an extra. So when they had to shoot a summer scene, the sun was there, but all of us were so cold. It was so cold out there. We were shivering. So we weren't really warm in this nice summer atmosphere that they want to shoot really. But in a virtual environment, all of this can be controlled, and that's a plus that you have. You can control your environment. You can control the frame. You can control who is behind you. You can control everything here. But I agree the mood is not going to be the same. What we can do to get as close to a feeling on set as can be is creating a little or setting aside a small part of your home as a model, because I know as humans we need that space shift to feel a certain way. So when you go to the set, you feel a certain way. You are in that professional environment and you can pose like that. Maybe just a small section in the house, how we make the green screen. So we make like a small area. There can be a smaller green area in your house, and you can create that for yourself. Create the mood that you want to be in, and then have the photographers and everything. So you can join in and say that, oh, you know, you can add this to add the, you can add music, and we can play the same music. There is an app that you can download. It's a browser, so whatever music you play, she'll be able to hear as well. It's so creating that mood is very important. Even if you so what I am looking at is why does the environment affect you? How does the environment affect you? And trying to add those aspects. So one is sound, that is very important, that adds to the feel. Another one is smell, the kind of smells that are around you. So you can direct these environments also. So if you want a certain mood, if you want a very relaxing mood, you can say, oh, you know, if I was in a studio, I would put this, say these fragrances, so that the mood is created. I want you to put that in your space also. It's something that is very easily available. Just try and do that. So you and your model are in the same, it cannot be the same, but at least as close to a same environment as can be. It will be in the same mood at least, because you have directed that you are playing similar music, you're playing the same, you're having the similar smells in the environment. You have a green screen, so what you can do as a photographer is also have a green screen and, you know, try and look at it and see and imagine that, oh, you know, she is in this, so how can she probably do something in the same amount of space. So I mean, these are some little aspects that you can add, if not everything, to create a similar mood. And you can do that with your other people also who are on set. So if there is a VFX person, they can, the artist can add in as well, and they can be a similar mood. You can just say, this is the theme. All of us are going to put this fragrance and this music. I'm going to put the music. All of you are going to be able to hear this. Put these candles, put spray this perfume, do whatever, and create the mood, and we are going to shoot in this mood. It also adds the energy, it creates a space shift, it creates that mood that we're not in when we're at home by ourselves. It just makes us feel that we're with a crowd, we're with people, and that changes as well. That changes how I react to the camera. That changes how, when I know that there are 2-3 other people looking at me, the way I will look at the camera will be different. The way I will pose will be very different as to what I would pose if I was alone. So I think these are the little things that you can add physically, and then we can add the technological. So one thing that we need to understand about virtual and technological aspects is that they cannot be stand-alone. Because we are humans, we need physical space shifts, we need physical touch, we need that in person, in human to human contact. So it's never going to be only technology. We have to, it's digital, so physical plus digital. We have to add it on to some physical aspect to create that.
That's definitely good suggestion. I think definitely try to incorporate it in one way or another. I think you rightly pointed out, maybe she can get up to a certain certain mood, so as to what I'm trying to get her in. So yeah, definitely that works out. Also, other question that Chaitanya had asked, with regards to the virtual model, I think Chaitanya, personally from my end, you don't have to worry because I love my models the way they are. I like whatever all these virtual models that they have got. They are just perfect. I don't know. I don't get the idea of how you would want this person to look this certain way, dressed in perfectly your face, and there's no skin texture. It doesn't what do you call it? Inspire me. It doesn't bring anything because this model is there, and I'll tell someone, okay, let her pose like this and give her a sari, and okay, then why am I here? Like
it's
with,
just
with
like
any model.
It's just like using a machine in terms of using labor. It's
Exactly. So they are doing it, but I don't see it's happening often. And with India, because I have had the opportunity to work in Milan for a while, and in India and Milan, the huge differences. They are a bit ahead. The kind of work that they have been doing. With design also, I have attended Milan Design Week. I think Monica, you are.
I want to attend Milan
Which is
Design
super.
Week.
Yeah, so they are way too ahead in terms of the kind of work that they are putting out. Because the poster that I see over there, I have somehow tried to incorporate it in my shoots, and none of the ADs over here have liked it. They are like, what are you trying to do? And my parents have just gone out of the thing that, okay, did we pay so much for you to do this? Because you're just putting a direct flash on a model and you're shooting. How is that a good photograph? So there is a lot more things that they are trying to do to then polish it. And then in India, it comes on a very later stage. So by the time it's in India, it has done all the polishing that needs to be done. So they eliminated the fact that going from a very thin model or a very skinny model, now they have removed that thing.
AJ, you know what I feel about this virtual model thing? I feel this a sort of a conspiracy of the industry, you know, like now they have no need to push their models to be skinnier, they have no need to fight with people, they have no need to comply as to follow their rules. They just have a virtual model, they don't need it. I just feel it's sort of a conspiracy. Why I feel it more? Because I am, you know me personally, I'm not a skinny tall model, so they just want to wipe out the rebellion that's coming out of us these days, that no, we'll be the way we like to be and you have to accept us, which is a good thing that's going on, which is going on in the West, not in India. Still people are very snob about a model has to be skinny and tall. That's the definition that we still have in India. I feel this is a right away conspiracy to wipe out everything. That listen, we don't need you. We have virtual media. We have a model there, and she can be anything. She can be 0. She can be less than 0. She can be 6 feet. She can be 8 feet. She can be black. She can be white. We have no need for your auditions anymore. Like, do you feel that way? Because I'm really feeling it that way.
No, you know, I think Shatabdi, even if that is the case, it's not going to work, because when you study human psychology, people don't want that, and they are catering to the people, to the masses. Masses don't like that. Masses will not connect with that. Until the masses don't connect with your models or connect with what you are showcasing, they're not going to buy it. Because they're going to buy for them. Why are people saying that you need to have more inclusive models? Is because there are other masses who are not tall, but they want to buy from themselves and they want to imagine themselves in the model. So if they're not going to have that, they are at a loss. They are not going to be able to sell to this group of masses. So don't you worry about that. You're not going anywhere. No matter what they think they're doing. So, only if there is my size models posing things.
No, I think this should be a concern, because someone who is like me and who's a model, it's a great concern for us.
Yeah, no, actually, you know, I feel that not I feel, it is true that the kinds of dresses, even if it's fashion, so the kind of fashion or the kind of dresses that fits the cuts, the sizes, what will look good on me will not look good on a skinny model, or what looks good on a skinny model will not look good on me, even if like it's in different, it comes in different sizes. Maybe like a deep neck will look good on me, but it'll just make her look very, very flat. So I think that is also why, just to show different styles of fashion, they need different sizes of models. So I don't think there's a way around it. They have to have you, so don't you worry about it. Yeah.